Hello everybody, this is Steven with AquaPurr. This is a quick video on how to install your AquaPurr. And the first step is to remove the aerator right here on the faucet. And I'm just going to turn this clockwise, looking down from the top. Just turn it clockwise. That's simple, should come off pretty straightforward. After that, we need to install the diverter valve. What I like to do is just hold it in place and turn this collar. Threads right on. Now we got lucky on this faucet because it did not need an adapter. But for help on using adapters installing this diverter valve, we're going to have another video for that. So for this diverter valve, before you completely tighten this collar all the way up, decide where you want this handle to be. And I think in our case, we'll put it straight forward here so that it's easy to get to. So then hold that in place. And we're going to turn this collar, clamp that down. Now, there's a rubber gasket inside here. It's clear with a screen. That's the thing that's doing the seal for this joint. We don't need pliers to crank down on that. We just need to give it a good finger tight turn and we should be good with no leaks. All right, the next step, now that we have the diverter valve installed, we can take the tubing and put it in our AquaPurr. And it's just a matter of slipping it into that fitting and pushing it in just a little bit hard. And of course, we can check it by pulling on it and it shouldn't come out. While you're using the AquaPurr, if you notice any water coming out there, that just means you haven't pushed that tubing in far enough. So just give it a little push and it'll probably go in another 1/8 of an inch and you'll be good and it'll seal. The last step I'm going to do with plumbing is to insert the drinking spigot, and that works just the same way as that tubing. We're going to put it in the top here and just give it a little shove to push it in there, and you can feel it settle down in there and you're good to go. All right, let's do the power adapter next. I'm going to plug it into the wall here, plug it into the back of the AquaPurr, and we're close to being done. Let's talk about using the faucet with the AquaPurr. So when the handle on this diverter valve is horizontal, that means any water coming out of the faucet is going to go to the AquaPurr. If we want to use the faucet ourselves, we just turn this handle up and down, and now the water is going to go down into the sink. Use the sink. When you're done, you can leave the cold water on, and we're going to turn this diverter valve handle to send the water over to the AquaPurr. Now, of course, nothing's coming out of the AquaPurr because we haven't triggered the sensor. So let me do that with my hand. And we've got a nice flow, a little bit of air. You can expect that the first couple of times you turn it on, but after that, it should be good to go. Now, while I'm talking about this, I'm going to have Stuffy here keep that water going for me. And you'll see it spurted a couple more times. Again, just purging the air out of there. You'll notice that the amount of water coming out of the spigot is really rather small. It's not as much as you would expect to see coming out of the faucet, and that's completely intentional. The AquaPurr has a flow limiting device to limit the volume of water coming out of here as well as the pressure. And we've designed it to be the perfect amount of water for your cat to drink from. I'm going to set Stuffy aside here and talk about the very last thing we need to do to install our AquaPurr. Positioning it is critical. We want to position the sensor facing the cat, and obviously the spigot needs to drain the water into the sink. And if you need to, you're going to pick this lid up and rotate it to make that possible. So we've got the sensor pointing at our cat right here. We've got the spigot draining into the sink. It's all good to go. Once we've decided on that, we're going to peel the stickers off of these 3M command strips and affix it down to the countertop so that the cat can't move that around. And with that, we've fully installed our AquaPurr. Thanks for watching.